For our final daily devotion, let's hear the words of the resurrected Jesus speaking to his disciples. Why are you so frightened? Jesus asked. Why are your hearts filled with doubt? Look at my hands, look at my feet. You can see it's really me. Touch me and make sure that I am not a ghost, because ghosts don't have bodies, as you can see that I do. As he spoke, he showed them his hands and his feet. What a surprising change in the Easter story. The events of Good Friday were devastating. It looked like there was a full stop at the end of the story. I mean, what could ever come after an empty tomb? And of course, the answer is the resurrection. This day changes everything. Let me illustrate it this way. Could a triangle ever be a circle? And you would say, well, of course not. One has lines, the other has no lines. It's impossible. But what's impossible with two dimensions becomes very possible when you add a whole new dimension. I mean, here's a regular orange cone, which is effectively a triangle made up of a whole bunch of circles. And what seems impossible in two dimensions becomes really possible when we add in a whole new dimension. See, friends, that's exactly what the resurrection does for all of us. It radically changes the way we see any challenges and predicaments, even death itself. Death no longer has the last word, but the resurrection opens our eyes to a whole new reality. And it's this event that birthed the multiplication and rapid growth of the church. You see, these same disciples who were there with the resurrected Jesus when he shared these words, they poured into the streets of Jerusalem. And they declared that Jesus, who was crucified right outside these walls, he rose from the dead right outside these walls, and we're eyewitnesses to a resurrected Savior. Jesus has indeed risen, they said. We've seen him with our own very eyes. And suddenly the city of Jerusalem was turned on its head. And ultimately the Roman Empire endorsed Christianity, all because of this event of the resurrection. People today continue to declare the difference that the resurrected Jesus makes in their lives. People who are addicted say, I met Jesus and he gave me power. People who are alone say, I met Jesus and I found a place to belong. And people who are weighed down with all sorts of burdens say, I met him and I experienced freedom. You see, our role is to share this hope with others around us, because death is not the final word. And so, if you find yourself fearful because all you see are the problems and the challenges, remember the resurrection, because it changes everything. Just as Jesus said then, he says to you and me, why are you frightened? Why are your hearts filled with doubt? And he invites us to come to him and to find hope again in the resurrection. This is the last of our devotions in the daily. And hasn't it been wonderful to wake up each day with a word from leaders across Tamaki Makaurau and celebrate the unity of churches across our city? And we'd love you to stay connected as we continue to work together for the spiritual and social flourishing of our city. Christ is indeed risen. May you be truly blessed this Easter.